Cockapunk here. Doing a new pump gun review, the PGP. I just picked up one of these for cheap because they are lots of fun to play with and in terms of projects. But I figured I'd do a quick review on them because I've owned a few PGPs and people talk about them. So here's my quick review of them. First off, there's two kinds of PGPs. There's PGP-1s and PGP-2s. This is a PGP-2. In terms of playability out of the box, stock, the PGP-2 kicks the shit out of the PGP-1, and I'll tell you why. Number one, on the PGP-1, this plastic piece here is what you use to load paint in here, and then you close it up, and you're good to go. Now, obviously, it's a rock back gun, just like my Super Stocker was. But on the PGP-1s, instead of a nice little speed feed like this, what you get is a plug that just kind of twists in. And if you don't have that plug tied to your gun with a string or something like that, you will lose it and while reloading on the field, because you'll have the gun in one hand, you'll have the plug in the other hand, and then with a third hand, you have to put your 10-round tube of paint in there. So, it's a pain in the butt to reload paint on the PGP-1s, stock. The other thing is the 12-gram changer. The 12-gram on a PGP slides right down in here. Here's this 12-gram. Slides right down in there, and then this is the, part that closes in on the back. Well, you can see on this one, first off, you get a nice long knurled knob, but it's only about, it's about the same length as a Phantom. It's about 2.5 turns from all the way out to all the way in. The stock ones on the PGP-1, it's about 1/8 of an inch thick, knurled, so it's no grip at all, and it's about 6 or 8 turns to get that plug out before you can put your new 12-gram in. So reloading 12 grams is a pain in the ass. Now, this is an unquestioned improvement. Unquestionably an improvement over the PGP-1. This, however, is not. This is made out of relatively cheap plastic, and so in the heat of the moment you can just pull this off the back and it'll shatter. The other thing is this front plug here is just made out of plastic too, and so are these sights. So if you're holstering it, you could pull the front plug off, or the sights or something like that. Two relatively cheap pieces of plastic here. The PGP-1 and 2 both fit a metal speed feed that Palmer's makes that works really well. And that's a must improvement for most PGP users. The other one is the stock, the PGP-1s, you can get what's called a fast changer that changes the threading here and makes the PGP-1 a pretty fast reloader. But those are both about 35 bucks a pop. And so you've got like a $100 gun, and you got to put 60 bucks worth of shit on it to make it useful on the field. The other thing is, it also has a rear velocity adjuster stock. The PGP-1s just have a butt plate there that doesn't have a velocity adjustment. You either have to shim your spring or just hope you're at the right velocity. So this has a rear velocity adjuster. So that's the reason why I like the PGP-2s for playability. The PGP-1s are still very cool, and especially once they get tricked out, they can be very nice guns. Lots of people polish off all this paint, because this is paint. It's a brass gun, and they'll polish it off, and it'll look like brass, and it looks really good. The PGP-1s, a lot of PGP-1s are polished brass. Just a couple of quick stats. It holds 10 balls in the top tube here, so you got 10 shots, and then you'll get maybe 20, 23 shots off a stock valve system. Now, Palmer's is of course the master of brass guns, and so the speed feed is Palmer's, the quick change was Palmer's, and Palmer's will also do a valve upgrade and tuning, which will really increase your efficiency, probably up to about a Phantom where you're getting 30, 35, and which is really nice. So otherwise, the PGP, the pump stroke is kind of rough. It's not all that good. But the nice thing about it is, unlike snipers, the bolt has ball bearings here. You can see it. These metal points here. Those are ball bearings that hold the bolt closed, even so I can't pull the bolt back. Which is nice because then I can shoot it one-handed if I wanted to. You don't have to hold the pump handle forward, is what I'm trying to say. Now, the bolt is an interesting little number here. Let me get it out. First off, this gun works along the same lines as a half-blocked cocker, which always makes me laugh, because lots of die-hard cocker owners make fun of people who half-block guns. Like, a true cocker doesn't do that. Well, this gun is far older than an auto-cocker. It's actually the gun that Bud Orr made the sniper out of. Like, he used all these same parts and stuff like that to make the sniper. So, originally, the gun worked like a half-block. Anyway, but the thing I want to talk about with the bolt, first off, you can see the ball bearings here really well. And so, but the other thing is, look at that bolt face. Yeah, that's just a solid bolt. The air does not actually go through the bolt on the PGP. There is a port in here that is located right to the exit from the bolt. And then all this does is provide a backstop to seal that bolt and hold the pressure. So it's a pretty crazy little system, but it always has made me laugh, because a lot of those guys with their backspin bolts and stuff like that, well, if you put the air out underneath the ball, well, this one puts the air out underneath the ball, obviously, because the bolt doesn't redirect the air forward, so it's just coming out the back of the ball. Anyway, turns out these guns are lots of fun. Playing with them, it's hard to play with one seriously, like playing to win, but they are lots of fun, and you know, just like most paintball pistols, they're just plain old fun to have. Not even, you know, not really serious guns, but the reason why I picked this one up is because I have some pretty sweet modifications I'm going to be doing to it. I want my parts to come in, and maybe I'll make some videos up of exactly what I'm doing to it, but should be a surprise, should be really cool. So yeah, otherwise, yeah, it's I mean, some people used to recommend this gun as your first stock class gun, because it's technically stock class, you know, 12 grams, 10 round tubes. I'm very pleased to say that people don't do that anymore, because this gun is not that good for that. First off, it's a fixed barrel, which means you're really paint dependent. If you have rollouts in a stock class gun, you're fucked. It's just that simple. And this gun has a relatively large stock barrel that is not movable. The other thing is the efficiency and whatnot. It's also just kind of, people aren't used to shooting guns like this. They're just not used to shooting pistols. So the Phantom is a much better stock class gun, especially for a starter. Now, you know, that shouldn't dissuade you from buying one. They're lots of fun to play with, and they're lots of fun to tinker with. They're just nice little guns to have around. So yeah, they're fun. I'm glad to see, though, that people have stopped recommending them as first-time pump guns. The Azotin Chaos Pump is by far the best first-time pump gun to date. It's just a great gun for that. And so anyway, it's got obviously the Sheridan-style frame. You can put a 45 frame on there. There's people who make mounting blocks for that, but I don't see any need myself. It's expensive and doesn't really help you. It's not like you're shooting faster or something because you got a better frame. Otherwise, pretty basic gun. Like I said, just fun to shoot, fun to have around. You can do so much to them. That's why I picked this one up, because it works perfectly for what I plan to use it for. Yeah, just lots of fun. I've owned about 3 PGPs in my life, and I think I've only played about 5 games with a PGP, but they're always fun to have around, and they are fun to play with. So, you know, accurate. Relatively heavy, though. That's the thing. It's probably about as heavy as a full-size BSC Phantom with T-stock, because it's made out of brass, which brass is quite hefty. So, yeah, if you're interested in just, you know, a fun gun to have around, just to plink a few, or, you know, if you're going out there with rentals or something like that, works great. Very fun gun. Fun project guns, too. So, that's about all I got. So, you guys have a good one, and talk to you later.